Landis here with a really fun build for today's adventure. And actually, this guitar has been in the works for quite some time. My wife and I started this project about a year ago, and it's been finished for a little while. Just haven't had a chance to bring it to you to show you kind of what went into it. But this was designed to be we call it the Galaxy. It was designed to be like a star system or some space activity that kind of represents something real important and real special to us, and I'm sure to many of you. We call this guitar Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now, you may not believe that, but I do. And as a tribute to God's creation, we made this guitar, and it's basically a space projection of the creation of the universe. So this guitar, it went through some metamorphosis. We had to strip it down and start over a couple different times because the technique that was used to make this guitar is like a trial and error. There's a lot of people on the internet that are really good at making renditions of scenery and things like that. I've seen actually street painters or artists that take various things and turn them into a scenery. We saw one that was an acoustic guitar that a guy made into a space projection of planets and things that looked really cool. So we kind of got that bug to go ahead and try this, but we wanted to try it with an electric guitar, and we call this the Galaxy. And you can see it's got a lot of texture with the light shining off of it. We wanted to make it shiny as well. We got the body from Guitar Fetish, and they sell a couple different kinds of guitar bodies. This one was one of their unfinished Lido bodies, and it was basically just a Stratocaster body with a couple holes that were already drilled for the neck at the neck pocket, and everything else had to be drilled and fashioned into whatever we wanted it to be. It was set up to be able to take double coil pickups if we wanted to. So we could have made it into a hum, single hum, but we wanted to make it more of a traditional type of a Stratocaster. The neck came from How Guitar. He is a distributor on eBay that sells really nice guitar necks, and this one is a maple neck. It's got a skunk stripe, as you can see, and it's got a rosewood fingerboard. And he set this up to kind of look like a more of a vintage style with a yellowed appearance at the maple. And I did find out that when you try to affect that in any way, that yellowing does come off. It's not really part of the wood. It's not very deep. I ended up trying out some technique on the headstock, and then had to go ahead and sand it off and start over again. And I found out when I did that the yellow you see on the back actually comes off and it turns into a white wood. So I thought that would be a great opportunity to let my wife paint the headstock to match the body, and that turned out really cool. It just has a really nice appearance to it. We decided to go with black hardware, and for the finish we decided to use gun oil over top of shellac. The shellac is something that we kind of tried and wanted to see if it would do something spectacular by itself, and it doesn't seem to fit what we're looking for. But if you put shellac on bare wood and seal it really nice with the shellac and then go over it with the gun oil, it turns out really, really nice. And it wasn't designed to be super smooth. We wanted it to have some texture. I don't know if you can see that, but the one planet up at the top there actually has some texture to it. It's like bumpy and it's got some grain to it. So that was kind of fun. The neck, again, from Hal Guitar, is a 9.5 inch radius with a rosewood fretboard. Standard frets. They're probably like a medium type of a fret. They're not the ball end frets. They are standard frets, so you can feel them a little bit, but they are not sharp in any way. They had to be just worked on a little bit just to get them kind of the way we like them, and then also we wanted to kind of roll the fingerboard edge. And then the nut is a bone nut. That came standard with the neck, and it was already drilled out for it was drilled out for a larger 10 millimeter tuner, but we went ahead and put the conversion bushings in there so that we could put more of a standard type of a tuner on there, like a split shaft vintage type tuner. The buttons on the tuners are actually plastic, and that way they can make them in black. And they went on pretty easy, and they are really good. They stay in tune. These are, I'm trying to think of the brand name of them. They're Fleor, and I got these from AliExpress, and we decided to go with the round string trees, kind of a vintage look. That actually worked out really well. And then we used mushroom shaped strap buttons, and the tremolo is a Geiger, and it actually has a full-size block. I don't know if you can see in there or not. It's got a full-size block, and it's a steel block, and this trem is floating, and it works really well. It stays in really good tune. We're able to get that floating. Let's see if I can get you a clear look at that. The bar actually is one of the push-in type, which is one of my favorites because that way you don't have to thread that in. You don't have to worry about a spring or anything like that. The pick guard is one of the brushed aluminum type pick guards, and the grain on this particular one goes up and down. Some of the ones that you can get have the grain going this way, and typically I like the grain going this direction rather than up and down, but for this guitar it worked out really well. The screws for the pick guard are not typical pick guard screws because these holes on this pick guard are not countersinked. And I went and I found screws that have like a cap head on them, and I used those instead so they would match. And we did the same thing at first with this switch, but when we got it all put together and it was, set up, and everything was going, well with it, it played well. It was so nice that we decided to go ahead and upgrade it. So we put Player Series pickups in this, and full-size pots, and a nice full-size switch. But this thing has really been a lot of fun to put together. The generic neck plate there, I think, came from either Amazon or eBay or somewhere like that. And we've probably got about $250 in this guitar. And most people, they ask me, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to spend money and put together something it's not a name brand. It's not going to have any resale value. It's just, they have a lot of reasons why they want to know what we're doing this for. And I do this therapeutically. I'm not a professional luthier. I don't get paid by YouTube. This is totally just a work of love, and that's the whole reason behind it. But the satisfaction that I get from it is just tremendous. And I don't know if that's something you like to do, but this is something that is very therapeutic for me. I'm not going to sell this one. I'm going to keep this. At the very least, it's going to go on the wall as a conversation piece, because I have some guitars that I don't really play a whole lot, but they're on the wall because they just kind of show some activity, and it's my hobby, and I really, really enjoy it. So I don't know what else I can say about this guitar, other than, it's dedicated to God. Genesis 1:1. God created the heaven and the earth. And yeah, this is a fun guitar. Um, what else can I say about it? I want to talk about these fret markers just for a second. These I've used several different times. They're made by Giacomo. You get them from Amazon. They're about $10 a set. And they've got all different kinds of styles and colors and shapes and everything. And this particular set worked perfect because it's all the planets. And it really made a nice finishing touch for this when you put it all together and you say, okay, the headstock has a galaxy look to it, the neck has planets, and then the body is another galaxy. These are very good. They don't cost a whole lot. They can be removed, and they can be replaced. So I really like these. I use them a lot. This particular one right here is an infinity symbol. So the galaxy, the universe goes on and on. And who knows where the end of it is? Only God knows where the universe starts and ends. So if you've enjoyed this video and it has inspired you to maybe step out and do something fun like this yourself, I'm going to ask that you would like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time for the next guitar adventure. Take care.